The LA Chargers seem like a team that has been very good, but not great in many recent years. I don't know what it's going to take for them to get over that hump, become one of those teams that you really believe has a chance to win it all, but it's been a while. Since 2007, they have not made the championship round, despite seemingly having a very good, steady quarterback situation the entire time. This is a team that has honestly underperformed their value for a while. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the year that they missed the playoffs, having the #1 offense and defense in the league. Sure, there is some missing stuff with that, as I believe they did have the worst special teams that year, but still, that's the kind of stuff that this Chargers team is sort of, quote-unquote, made of. Now, the biggest issue with this team is arguably the offense. They have a good enough amount of talent, but the coordinator situation has not been great. The scheme situation, the lack of receivers getting schemed open has been a problem, and Mike McDaniel seemingly is the right guy for the job. Of course, most people would consider it an A+ hire, the #1 sought-after guy when it comes to teams looking for a brand new offensive coordinator. And I think it's pretty obvious when you look at what the Dolphins were able to do for the most part over the last few years on offense specifically. It's been pretty damn good. Tua Tagovailoa led offense, being the #1 in the league once upon a time, only a year or two ago. Obviously, there were some injuries with Tyreek Hill and whatnot recently. Yeah, there's a pretty good resume there for McDaniel. Maybe not the best coach, but as far as an offensive mind, yeah, definitely a top-tier guy, and the Chargers absolutely seemingly won with this one. I will say, though, as far as the Chargers go in 2025, it wasn't a bad year, obviously, right? 11-6, you make the playoffs, but they had a few of those stinker games, and unfortunately, they finished the season with back-to-back stinker games. 2 games in a row where they scored only 3 points. Of course, one of those was Trey Lance, and obviously Herbert, dealing with that fracture in, I think, his left hand. But still, regardless of the point, just not performances the offense going to have, right? Definitely deal with injuries. We're talking about Herbert himself. Of course, Hampton, the big one. Really hoping this isn't a David Bakhtiari situation as a Packers fan. I've seen it firsthand. Rashawn Slater, back-to-back season-ending injuries. Definitely not the way you want to go. Joe Alt with an injury as well. You lose both of your tackles. Bad things are usually going to happen. This is an offensive line that should be top 10. With those guys going down, they were bottom 10. Bottom 5, probably. We'll say a lot of people were kind of thinking it was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. Mekhi Becton off the Eagles. Looks like Mekhi Becton off the Eagles, unfortunately. He definitely did not look as good as when he was a Philadelphia Eagle, and it was a low-risk contract, so I don't blame him. But yeah, there is definitely some cause for some current concern on the interior of this offensive line. As far as weapons goes, obviously you love McConkey. How much longer do you love Keenan Allen is the concern? And then Trey Harris, you really didn't get to see much from. Quentin Johnson, definitely trending upwards, but a couple of setbacks here and there. Do you love this as your wide receiver room going into next year? Probably not. Is it good enough? I'd say so, especially with the emergence of Gadsden, who I think easily will be their tight end 1 going forward. Now we look at the defensive side of the ball where edge looks good. Will Khalil Mack return? I have no idea. He's been tinkering with retirement for a few years now, it seems. Corners definitely need some work. Safeties, of course, I think that's fine, especially with Derwin. DT, it has been a problem here since ever, really. A long time. There's a name I'm thinking about. He was 2010s era. Who the hell is it? At DT. I'm not thinking of Sean Merriman or anything like that. I'm thinking of DT. I can't place the name. Either way, linebackers. Henley, 82 overall. That is Tui Pelotu, who is so weird to see a superstar dev, but a low overall. I get it. Sacks aren't all built the same, but 13 sacks, you should probably at least be an 82 overall. Henley apparently didn't grade well, but I thought he was one of the ascending linebackers in the league. He's an 82 overall. Am I wrong? I feel like he's not a bad player. But yeah, this is a side of the ball that they really don't have as much of a concern for. It's weird because you look at the roster and it's it's not the best, but it actually is a pretty good side of the ball. They were solid last year. I think they held 11 opponents to under 20 points or around 20 points per game or during that stretch per game. It's just that offensive side of the ball. McDaniel got to come in, save the day. Willie, we're about to find out. Of course, if you guys end up enjoying this video, leave a like, subscribe for new, hit the bell notification all so you know when the next upload is up. And if you're a Chargers fan, let me know what the biggest concerns for you are going forward and what the biggest issues were in 2025. Is Mike going to be the guy saving the day, or is he not? Regardless, let's get into this rebuild, question mark. You got a good quarterback. Who knows? Is an 80 overall, though. That actually is pretty low. And while I disagree, the game has the Patriots winning the Super Bowl over the Seahawks. Seattle has a chance to get its revenge, and as a Packers fan, I would love to see Darnold win a Super Bowl just after leaving the Vikings. Oof. Absolute oof. It's crazy, though. I'm pretty sure I've seen something like 3 GMs now have been fired after getting rid of Darnold, and he's played well for a new team, if I'm not mistaken, which is ridiculous. But this is what the team looks like for DevOps, which Keenan Allen actually doesn't retire, which is interesting. I am still curious, what are we going to do at wide receiver? Because, I mean, this is really what the team should be looking like. In theory, you'd want it to look like this, but I don't know if you trust Johnston as the number 1. But, yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible team. You need a new center. You need a new right guard. Tackles should be fine, assuming Rashawn Slater, he's not on that trajectory of, well, of course, Bakhtiari, if you will. But then we need a lot more on the D-line, right? The defensive tackle spot, Mac, surprisingly not retired. So that's great. We'll keep him another year. And, yeah, I mean, really, cornerback is probably your first-round bet. If not DT, maybe edge rusher if you like somebody there. But with the retirements we had, or the lack thereof, I don't think we're as screwed as I thought we would be. I think we'll be fine. I also feel like this happened to us last time we did the Chargers rebuild, but how do we have so much money? What's going on here? Why are we literally the richest team of all time? We've got some names coming up, but I mean, I'm not really worried about anybody here. We'll get Mac, obviously, right now in a moment. But, yeah, I mean, there's no concerns. We just stealing money from banks? What's going on? Also, away in real life, I mean, he was probably good enough to stick around. But for Madden, you're not really gaining much by having him. So I will be letting him go, sadly. I even think I might... Now, we'll keep Zion Johnson for 1 year just because the user class... The user class are a little bit tougher to draft starting linemen on, so we'll see what we do with that. But, yeah, I probably should have offered a little bit more for Zion. And then, of course, with Mac, even if I draft a new pass rusher, I wouldn't hate him as a backup. Okay, we're going to have to pay a lot for this tag, huh? $31 million for the tag. I mean, you probably would have wanted, 26 without it. So, yeah, it is what it is. And then Keenan, as much as I think you'd want to try to keep him in real life, I think in game, I'm not as interested. So, sorry, Keenan Allen, you are being let go. I'm kind of disgracing this team a little bit by letting this happen, but, we're now in the Madden side of things, not just realistic. All right, looking at free agency. Ooh, is he retired? Is Zeitler retired? Joey Bosa? Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Breece Hall. Wait, Breece Hall is never a free agent. Give me some Breece Hall in my life. That would be a huge signing, actually. Just get somebody that's a little more, I wouldn't say dependable, but just, I guess, dependable, actually. Consistent/dependable, I think, is very fitting words. I'm going to have to look into these guards to see if any of them have retired or are going to retire. I think they're pondering them, and there's a good chance they do, but it's not confirmed, so... We might actually massively improve this offense without even getting to the draft. We're kind of going all in on this offense. Let's see if we can get these 3. Oh, come on, Zeitler. Don't do it to me. Looking good. And we get all 3. We get 2 brand new guards. Massive improvements. And, of course, brand new running back, Breece Hall. All right, so we're sitting at pick 22. And when I look at the team, what I really need is the guards to be in place, but we need a center, arguably. We could use a wide receiver. I don't think the Chargers would be like, oh, there's a really good wide receiver at 22, but we need other things. If they see a really good wide receiver at 22, they're taking him, I think. I think that's the argument that they would do. But, yes, after the draft, or the free agency we had, I don't know if I worry about the offense as much. I think a guard could definitely be there at 22, but we don't really need one because of what we just did. Linebacker wouldn't hurt. Future edge definitely wouldn't hurt. But I think the biggest thing right now is corner. It is DT. So we're probably going to slow sim round 22. Whatever happens, might need a trade up for the corner, but cornerback is probably our number one. Wait, the Raiders took Bane. What? Huh? Who the hell have they got a QB? They went with Rodgers. Okay. Sure, I guess the Jets get gifted Mendoza. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen, huh? Of course, the Titans get gifted as well. Giants take a QB. Dude, what are we doing? What are we doing out here? Love to 7 with the Commanders. Terrell to the Saints. Damn, DT's like already gone. Caleb Downs, maybe a best available pick situation. Corner starting to fall a little bit. Not in a good way. Delane is gone at 12. Hood at 13. Washington gone at 14 already. Parker at 15, which I think probably does happen pretty early. Tyson at 16. Wide receivers looking actually pretty good. Corner is like gone. Malachi Lemon, though, that is a good player still on the board. What do you do with that information, huh? We have Howell as well. Interesting indeed. Does anyone actually know why the wide receivers all fall now? Like, we had Tyson and that was it. It's pick 22. And I'm sitting here really struggling with this pick because on one hand, Lemon could fall to 22 and, I mean, Ladd McConkey. Why not have a second Ladd McConkey? But I just don't think wide receiver is that big of a need. But the problem is, outside of that, it's like take a lineman, which for right now we don't really need. I guess you can maybe future-proof a little bit. Edge, maybe you can future-proof that as well. Corner's just not really what I was hoping it would be at this point. And then do I take Hill? Like, sure, I could use a linebacker, but do I take one pick 22? Maybe. It's not really that high on the list, though. And, that's really where I'm at. I was thinking about maybe going like Proctor, put him at guard. I recently watched that Bengal mock draft, and while I get it, that's, kind of what they did with Mekhi Becton, it also didn't necessarily work, right? Not really what they did, but, they got Mekhi Becton to be that bigger guard. Didn't really work, though, so it's like, okay, well, maybe back to the drawing board, or are we just going to go back and get a different guy? That's huge. I don't know. I really don't know. This is actually the toughest first-round pick we have had in one of these rebuilds. Honestly, like, normally I have somebody, but at this point, there's no one that's, like, jumping off the page, if you will. And I guess we'll go future-proof. We're going to go with Cassius Howell. I just think the value's there, even if I would love a cornerback more. Howell, who, of course, is normal development trait. Sweet. I've also seen, like, conflicting things that he's 6'2", 22. I've seen 6'4", 22. I don't know what the age is, all right? But I guess we'll have to keep him at 23. Or will we? And with our next pick, we're going to finally go cornerback Chris Johnson. I think he's hidden in this class, if I'm not mistaken. 42 true talent with... No, he's not! Oh my God. Where we trade a 3rd, 4th, and 6th with the Eagles. I think we're going to be going up for another corner, perhaps. Not even just because the guy that we got was normal, but because... Oh, Durant. He's not very good of a player and is a little bit high for him, but interesting. But because we need multiple corners, I would not hate having Damani Jackson. I believe he's hidden, I think. Damani Jackson. We're going to go with 2 new corners. We're going to start them both and hope they develop. There you go. Yeah, this is what I get for trying to mix it up. We went Howell in the first round, and I hate the move so much for us right now. It's so bad. And now we're going to be trading down with the Buccaneers to land some more depth, if you will. With that pick, we're going to be taking Lander Barton. Kind of a big linebacker. Don't know about that Sam spot. 23 true, 123 true with normal development trait. Very good change of direction, by the way. And then yet another corner. We have went through the entire draft process without a single DT drafted. Woohoo! That right there is how you know this is a realistic style rebuild. Chargers not going DT. What a draft pick. Of course, we did actually land 3 straight good players. Just 2 of them were normal dev. One of them, 23 years old. I actually don't know how old he is, and I actually don't know how tall he is. I'm going to continue to try and look, but I think 6'2", 22? Let's look again. Yeah, considering the short arms, I would assume he is actually 6'2", right? I think that is... Yeah, I mean, I don't expect this guy to kill it in the run defense, but we're just hoping for a good pass rusher. That's all I can really say about that. But here's some of the other players, though. Chris Johnson. We got ourselves, a little bit of a zone guy. And then Damani Jackson, 76 overall. Little bit of a press man guy, but very, very raw. You know what I really hate? That the word goon has been stolen from me. I used to love to say that. I used to love to goon. Now that the word has changed, I still love to goon. I just don't say it for players anymore. But yeah, at least we got cornerbacks. We might not have gotten any defensive tackles, but we'll solve that in free agency. Oh, you're worried about the 2 guards that we just got that are going to probably retire on us? We'll worry about that in free agency. By the way, how did I forget about Tarheeb Still? I went so hard on the corners. Like, insanely hard on the corners. Can we maybe trade Dante Jackson like a 3rd-round pick for a DT? Is that a possibility? There's got to be a team out there that is willing to make a trade. This is more than I wanted to offer, but we get the trade done. We have Mike McDaniel. They took Zane Durant, and I figured, well, they need corner more than DT, technically. They did the trade. I did the time. I don't know what that means, but sure. Massive upgrade to DT. Gonna probably focus him in the training camp stuff, just trying to get him 84, 85. Make our decisions feel a little bit better. All right, here's the roster for the official year 1 start. The offensive line looks great. I mean, everyone's an 85 plus except for the center, who is a massive Mekhi Becton. Don't know if that would work out, but we're going to allow it. Tight end, there's a potential there. Wide receiver, definitely some potential. New running back. Sorry, Amarian. I actually really like Amarian Hampton, but when an opportunity arises, I'm going to take it. Breece Hall was there. That's my guy. Looking at the running back or the defensive side of the ball. You know what? Kind of want to use Hampton now. Whatever. That's how we're going to do it. Thankfully, we got McNeil because our DT room sucks. Even with me and McNeil, our DTs suck. Yeah, it was not the best draft, let me tell you. But maybe there's long-term potential. And, of course, we will have that Miami offense on. All right, we got some re-signings. Derwin James wants quite a bit of money. We'll do a 2-year 44. Man, it's a lot of money. We'll see. 2.02, no matter what. Even if he's playing like garbage, he is long-term. I don't even know if I feel Howell is long-term. So a guy with superstar dev, 23 years old, obviously long-term. Quentin Johnston, but I believe in him. This is 3 weeks work, not bad. The touchdowns are actually really high, so we're going to be paying him as well. It's a little bit of money, but a 4-year 54 I can deal with. I can live with it. Then we have Henley. It's a little costly. I'll do a 2-year 18. Nice. Actually surprised he took that. And then Mekhi Becton's gone. Vidal. Mac's probably going to retire. Petonia's probably going to retire. Zeitler, wherever the hell he is, he's going to probably retire. I don't know how this team has money. I feel like it's going to disappear soon, though. Ooh, Tarheeb Still star development trait. Yo, Tarheeb Still superstar now. I haven't seen something like this in a while. I will say, though, we are having a pretty good year. I mean, we should, right? We're the Chargers. We're a decent team with a franchise quarterback. What else do you really need? And we have one of the better coaching staffs in the league now. And we lost a couple games at the end that might have gotten us... it would have gotten us the bye week. Huge. Love that. Take a look at the season we had, though, which was a good one. Of course, really, really good start. Not a great finish, though. Lost the final 2 games. You win those games, we get the bye week. Fortunately, that's not going to be the case. But first season with the Dolphins scheme, Herbert looking good, running, not bad. Breece, maybe the yards aren't there, but the touchdowns are there. The yards per carry are there, so we're paying a lot of money for a guy to be a backup, okay? What can I say? It's not even really a lot. It's like $8 million per year. He's worth that money for sure. Maybe around 10 mil, 8 to 10. It's fine. Johnston, great. Should go to star. McConkey, not bad. Good. Trey Harris, pretty good. Tight end, not so good. Not so good at all. Offensive line, it could be worse, but also a lot better. Pass rush, what do we get? Mac with 9.5. So I tried to get Howell in as much as possible. I tried to rotate these guys as much as possible. And Mac took a little bit of a hit, but he still had a great year. But we got 3 guys off the edge having a great year. I think if the team's winning, who's to complain? I like that for us. That worked out really well. Dwight Jackson, 4 picks. Chris Johnson, 4 picks. This is another one of those rebuilds where I wasn't feeling great about our draft. We simulate a season, and it was an amazing draft. All right? We'll see. Maybe amazing is a little bit too high of a word, but there's a potential that those 3 guys, the first 3 draft picks we had, go up in dev. Right? That is the definition of a pretty damn good draft. MVP goes to Josh Allen. Wonder if it was actually Lamar Jackson that deserved it. Seen that before. Offensive Player of the Year, Johnson was number 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year, wow. Where? Oh, that's Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm blind. Wait, it doesn't matter, though. It's the same results. Okay, we're screwed either way. But sure, it is what it is. It was still a good year, even if we didn't win any awards. Hopefully, we still get some DevOps, perhaps. The Raiders, who didn't even go with Mendoza, are in the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers. I think if you could bet that Aaron Rodgers would be a Raider, and that happened, you'd probably be able to put $1 down and retire side by side with Elon Musk in net worth. Because what are even the odds? Like 1 in a trillion? Like it's just never going to happen. Just simply never going to happen. Unless just nobody wants him. Even the Steelers don't want Rodgers. And he's like, I'll be a backup, I guess. And the Raiders are the only team that want. I don't know, dude. I really couldn't tell you. But 7-0. Chargers looking good. 14-0. I mean, it's a good start. Halftime score. We are posting a shutout. 21-0. Still posting that shutout. The Raiders do finally score. And we have built up good enough of a lead. Defense has done a great job. We are moving on to the divisional round. Looking at the players' stats, Justin Herbert, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Aaron Rodgers, not a bad performance, just not good enough. Hampton was solid. Breece Hall didn't do well, but he did have a touch, which is good. Good touchdown. Johnston, 1 touchdown. Malachi Lemon, I guess not a bad decision to pass on him. What about that pass rush? What did that do? Ali McNeil, 2 sacks. Ooh, the DTs were actually kind of cooking. Edge, it was okay. Howell at least got involved. Henley with a pick. And our kicker missed 2 field goals. I'm sure that won't come back to bite us. All right, let's go to the divisional round. What do we got for ourselves? It is the Bills. They are higher overall, and they are at home. So this could be the end of the line for us going against the MVP with the Bills. Going into the end of the game, the Bills drive down. They get nothing. They turn the ball over. It's 3-7. Bills answered back very quickly. Our defense is killing it, but offense got to do more than field goals. There's 1. There's a touchdown. Halftime, 19-7. Maybe they don't need to do better than field goals. These field goals might be enough. And, we got those 2 touchdowns, thankfully. The defense has been on a hater. We're moving on to the championship round in year 1. This could be a 3-year rebuild. I know it's technically 3.25 because we start out, we do the draft, and then we start, but wow. Not even a great performance on offense, but forcing Josh Allen, who just won the MVP, to 3 interceptions. Run game was not great, but Breece Hall at least had a better game than last week. Trey Harris, not bad. McConkey, pretty good. Let's look at the defense. Rousseau with 2 sacks. Howell with a sack. Got some pressure from the DBs. Henley with 2 picks. Derwin with a pick. Dicker, hey, you know what? I apologize. It did not come back to bite us, at least for right now. 5 for 5. Needed most of those field goals, too. Honestly, maybe we needed them all because, what did the Bills do to stay at 14? Did they go for it on 4th down because they were down 2 possessions because of the field goals? Game plan changes based on the score. Of course, the Ravens, 86-85 winner, and we're in the Super Bowl in year 1. McDaniel might be the GOAT. What can I say? Going to the end of the game, what do we got? 7-0. It's a great start. We do get a stop. It's not a stop, but it's a field goal. It's kind of feeling like what we did to the Bills last week. Don't do it to me. Come on, Chargers. Oh! Thank you. It's a 1-point game. Defenses are on another one for both teams here. This is a short field. Justin Herbert fumbles. Apparently we recover, though. Another short field, but the opposite side defensively. And, oh my lord, they're driving all the way down inches. It is a field goal. We win the game with a field goal, but we are going backwards every single snap. I got to see these numbers. 118 passing. What are we actually doing? Need to make a play. Get the tight end just to create something or get the whole thing. Wow. Okay, that's a huge first down. The drag route, let me tell you. 3rd and 2, first down. Clock is running. 3rd and inches. I mean, the clock down to the 1. 53 seconds left. Baltimore still has a chance. 4th and 4. This is like the game. Wow, I don't know how we're not playing like prevent. They need a touchdown. Their best bet would obviously try to get sideline, get closer for the deep shot. But if Lamar's got the arm, which I don't know if he does. Oh, that's a pretty bad play actually. They aren't gonna have enough time. That's unfortunate. We're headed to the Super Bowl. The Ravens choked. Oh my. 21-16. This defense has been on another level. And with that, we are headed to the big one. This could be a 3-year rebuild. I mean, I know a lot of other people do literally that, like they do 3-year rebuilds. So it's not like, you know, it's never been done before. I mean, we've had more playoff success in this one season than we had in the entirety of our last rebuild, our rebuild challenge. So, yeah, I don't mind it. If we win a Super Bowl year 1, it's a shorter rebuild, but it's a successful one. I am all for it, believe it or not. I would love to keep those guards around. I don't know if they're going to, though. They're probably going to retire, win or lose here. As we'll be taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Interesting. Let's see how they got here, because that is not a team that shows up often, especially in year 1. They beat the Falcons by 8. Okay. They beat the Eagles by 6. Okay. They beat the Lions by 3. Okay. I don't know what to think about that. Take a look at the DevOps, if we had any. Offensively, Johnston does go to star, which is what we were hoping for, what we were expecting. And that's exactly what happens. 86 overall, almost 87. Totally worth that contract we offered him. And then look at the defensive side of the ball now. Can't believe Howell had the season he had, and he just stays as a normal dev. Molden, I do believe, did go to star. It's a little irrelevant because he's already 30 or 27, almost 30. But I'll take it. I'll take it over normal dev, obviously. Unfortunately, Johnson does not go up in dev, which I really thought he would. But the team looks good. Does this look like a Super Bowl roster, though? Defensively, I don't think so. But ironically enough, that's the side that has gotten us to where we're at. So it doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to look, you know, top dog. You just got to make the plays. Make one play at a time. Win the game. 85 versus 85. This is the most balanced Super Bowl I've seen in a while. Let's see if we can win a Super Bowl in year 1. Look at this. Year 1 Super Bowl. Technically year 2 if you want to count it that. But, yeah, big one. A big one. A chance at a 3-year rebuild, which, hell, even in our challenge rebuilds or, you know, sometimes they're not even challenges. They're actually a bonus. Like if we do a regular style fantasy draft early on in the year, you can draft a better team than most of the teams you're going to rebuild. But even those, we don't win year 1 Super Bowl. So this has potential to be one of the special ones. But at the end of the day, I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? I don't even know who's on which side. Right to left is them. Huge drive, 7-7. Took more effort, but we still got the score. 10-7. Oh, good stop. This defense, dude. Offense, you cannot let these guys down. These guys are putting in generational work. And yet this offense could still not score. 3rd and 8. This is a big moment. I mean, this is the play that got us there last time, so why not? It's the only, like, play we ran, right? The team has done it on their own without us. They're in pretty good coverage. You got to force that. And Johnston comes up with a huge catch. Who would have thought he would have been the one clutching up a catch to win this? Of course, you got to actually do it, though. Could easily throw a pick. Hopefully we don't. Ooh, I don't like that. I normally don't come in on, like, 2nd downs. Usually it's 3rd down, must-have-its. This is one of those situations where I feel like you got to get in there early. Tight end. Oh, bounces off. He almost made a crazy play there. To the 7. Field goal does you nothing, mind you. So obviously, we're not playing for a field goal. They're going to be bringing the blitzer. If the safety doesn't jump this, Johnston's wide. Oh, we had the running back. Damn it. The running back was free. Didn't look at the running back. That was not a guy that I thought was going to be open. Post back in the end zone. Is it enough? Tight end's wide open. Perfect throw from Herbert, and we're in for the touchdown. The problem is Tampa's got time. Lot of it, too. It doesn't take much. 4th and 2. This could be it. This could genuinely be it. I think the clock will run here, but you got to go mid. It's like the only play I have an idea we can get in before they can make a read, but it's still like obviously not flawless. This could be, you know, the play that loses the game. And they do get outside. Of course, it's freaking Mike. I did play the outside. They've got all the time in the world. 4th and 2. That could have been it. Oh! Picked by still the superstar! Of course we're going to give him another chance, dude. Of course we are. There's no way, right? You kind of just have to play cover 4. Clock is running. I mean, arguably, if we tackle them in bounds here. Tackle in bounds. Is that knee down? It is! Clock's moving. They've got to make it count. This could be it. 5, 4. I really want to call a timeout. But let's see if they even get a chance at the deep shot. And Baker. There's no way, right? What the hell just happened? It doesn't matter, though, as we have just won the Super Bowl in year number 1. And while we did play it, we weren't necessarily forced to. 2nd and 14, they could have easily gotten out of it on their own. I mean, honestly, the way we played it, you could argue that we actually did worse than the AI might have. 2nd and 14, I've seen AIs, get that 14 yards in one play. Us, we were never playing for that 14, right? We were trying to get the short play, make it count before 4th down. So this team did it like 95% on their own, maybe more. Really carried by the defense, just locking teams down. This offense, it really wasn't saved by McDaniel at all, at least in the postseason. Regular season was pretty good, but postseason, there was a lot of failed drives. I don't know how many punts we had in the other games, but I would actually love to see it. It has to be like 8 to 10 punts a game. Like, it really was not great. But when it was all said and done, both sides came together and have won a Super Bowl ring in year 1. What a catch by Johnston. Any one little thing goes wrong, and we are losing this game most likely. What a clutch catch that was. And the Chargers are winning a Super Bowl. Of course, we'll look to do 2 more seasons, see if we can become a dynasty, but Herbert, I mean, it was a good enough performance for sure. Rushing, not great, but Hampton was good enough, obviously. And then Gadsden, what a game he had. Very consistently ran game. A lot of different sacks, different blitzes, all that good stuff. Johnson with a pick. Tarheeb still with a pick. Dicker missing a kick, but that's okay. It happens. And where's the punting? 3 punts. Dude, how? It feels like we were turning the ball over left and right. Or like giving the ball away, and yet we had no fumbles. How? How can you get what? I'm so confused. Unless we just had a lot of field goals. It's 20-14. Dude, there's something going on with those stats because the ball was changing hands left and right, yet there wasn't crazy punts or scores. Even if all of our scores were field goals and like a safety, it still wouldn't make sense. Either way, let's take a look at the results here. Boom, bing, bow. And let's get to the offseason where hopefully we can make our team even better. But I will say the likelihood is that it's going to get worse as our 2 guards that really carried the show up front, at least interiorly, are probably going to retire on us. At least one of them. Zeitler is probably going to be gone. And looking at said retirements, let's see what we got. Batonio retires, Mac retires, and May retires. I cannot believe it is Kevin Zeitler that sticks around. Wild, wild stuff. Joel needs a 5th-year option, so we'll give him the 5th-year option. Where the hell is the Zeit? He is still here. I mean, if he wants to stick around, I'll pay him. It's a little expensive, but 84 overall is good enough. I can't believe he's gonna get like 17 million here because of that. Not the best decision in the world. Oh my God, maybe it was the greatest decision in the world. I'm gonna pay him since it's only 2 more years. If this was a 5-year rebuild, I think we'd probably pass on him and go for youth and try to develop him. But since we're only doing 2 more seasons, we already did our goal in year 1. Yeah, I think that's the play. And then Elton Jenkins back at guard, left guard. We're going to save him. We're going to save him. Left guard he comes. That's disgusting. Although it looks like we might not be guaranteed. O'Neal's interesting too. I'll throw an offer on O'Neal just to see, like, what the prospects are. Jenkins makes more sense at left guard, but O'Neal is very athletic. He's a huge tackle, so we'll go 2-year for a guy that I at least think we have a good chance to get. I really do want Jenkins more, but I think we have no choice here. Brian O'Neal, the new left guard of our team, if you will. And as much as I would like to get some other positions like DT, I think we're not only going to save our money, but I don't really like the names that are here anyways. So we do get O'Neal. Unfortunately, I did try to go for Elton Jenkins, but that didn't work out. We could have filled the new center as well, but yeah, I don't understand. I just don't understand where this team's money is. I guess maybe I do. A lot of the starters on this team are getting paid either next to nothing or they're on rookie deals, so I guess it actually does make sense. Eagles going Elton Jenkins, that actually is not a bad move, but yeah, you win some, you lose some. I mean, realistically, we just need a center again. You know, we can rock with basically what we just did last season. But yeah, the team looks good. Maybe looking at tight end, potentially a wide receiver just for the slot, because Trey Harris isn't the greatest fit for us there. But yeah, really the defense is where we're kind of looking for as well. Barton, unfortunately, didn't go up in dev. Same with Howell. Still potentially looking at edge. I think Howell had a great year, though, so we'll develop him there. And yeah, another DT, obviously. All right, we're sitting at pick 32. Our biggest positional need is still defensive tackle. Safety wouldn't hurt either, but this is the scouting. So we didn't get a great amount of true talent like shows, but we did get a lot of like high percentage. You know, a lot of them are 80% plus. DT obviously is 100%, but not a great selection of DTs outside of like Mills, who obviously is going to be gone within the first 10 picks. If not, maybe we make a trade up because that is the biggest need. But also got some safety edge. McIntosh, you cannot pass on. 3 to 4, looking great. So honestly, we're just going to slow sim and see how it goes. We might end up just having a full-on send it to 32 because, yeah, I'm not going to trade up too high. Pick 10 maybe for that DT, but even then, I think he will be gone before then, so it's probably going to be irrelevant. Yeah, number 7 overall for Mills. That is wild how high he went. Is that edge rusher still there, though? He is gone. So, I mean, at this point, there's no point in even sticking around. Let's go to 32. All right, now we are at 32, and Matt Hazelwood is actually still here. There's a very good chance this guy's normal development trade, but I, needing DT, will be taking a high potential looking guy, a 41 true talent with... No, he's hidden dev. That is a great draft pick. See, the problem is I forget with the new terminology that edge, for some reason, still has some big dudes. So I'm like, oh, well, DT's gone. We're done. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. And then I look. You know, that guy's 300 pounds. Yeah, that's a great pick. I am shocked he was still there. Most of those 1 to 2s go at like 20, especially if they're like DT types. But that's the good thing that is he's considered edge. And for some reason, edge rushers, just like wide receiver, has been falling a little bit. So we actually get really lucky there. McIntosh, these safeties, almost always sticking around. So hopefully I didn't sell and hopefully I didn't lose them. But we should have a good chance to land one, if not both of the safeties. We'll see. And this is a tough one because both safeties are still there. There's an argument to be made to take both. You know, we'd have to trade up. I don't think we can because we lost our 4th and 5th round picks, but our 3rd even. But yeah, I think you got to go Rudy McIntosh. And, you know, whatever happens there, this guy's going to start no matter what his dev is, which is hidden. Yeah, he's going to start at a free safety spot. It really just would be, you know, nice to have a replacement for Derwin when he's gone, but I think he will actually be here for the rest of this rebuild anyway, since, again, we're only doing 2 seasons more. We're now in the 5th round, and I think it is time to take our future center here in Jake Mitchell, 72 true talent, who is a hidden dev. Now we're moving on to the 7th round. I really would have loved to land multiple linemen, but we, of course, made our trade for Lee McNeil, which, hey, I'm not saying that's why we won the Super Bowl, but it definitely seemed to have helped. We have 2 picks in a row here, which unfortunately all of our favorites are gone, but we could use a long snapper, which, I mean, they all look pretty similar to me. I don't know who's the best. I guess Dickinson's the only guy that kind of separates himself a little bit. 71 true talent with normal dev. And then do we have a punter? I can't remember if we have our punter still. And whether did we do or not, this seems like a generational punter. So Jeromepkr coming in. Oh, yeah, it's going to bug out because he's freaking Mr. Relevant. But we'll take a look in a moment here. What's that overall? Yeah, 78 figured. So Hazelwood, 75 overall, which is really good because he's not even at the right position yet. Really, really solid looking player. I think once he goes to DT, we might be looking at a 78 overall. This is a solid looking player. DT, anything in the 90s? 97, sure. Dev, star. I was kind of hoping maybe he would have gotten to a superstar or been a superstar, but that's fine. As long as he's hitting Dev, which his overall is. Yeah, 78 overall. Then we have McIntosh, who's a bit more raw of a safety than I would have liked, but automatic starter regardless of the point. Dev of star Dev, again, unfortunate, but hidden Dev is automatically a prize of its own, as you can easily develop players even with normal Dev this year. Jake Mitchell, since you got to move him to center, let's take a look at the Dev anyways. Very unlikely to be superstar, but a lot of times, though, we've been drafting these superstar linemen out of nowhere. Not going to be the case this time. We've actually been very light on the draft for O-line, for a rebuild for once. Long snapper, who cares? Punter, though, hidden development trait, 99 kick power. Really don't care the Dev because he's a great player. All right, Season 2 team, we did our training camp stuff. Gadsden got a, Focus, Hampton, Herbert. Unfortunately, no DevOps, though. Well, Howell, but just no DevOps, unfortunately. But team looks good. Won a Super Bowl already. Let's win another one. Ooh, okay, so we were talking about, like, well, how do we have so much money? Well, we don't, I guess, would be the answer to that, as McConkey and Tarheeb still, we might barely be able to afford. And then the rest, anyone else going forward, we are screwed with. But for now, that's fine. We'll be able to afford them. We have $9 million left. Hopefully there's no other names here. If it's O-line, they're gone. Yeah, I mean, we have the, other than Zeiler, pretty much the entire starting roster, at least for one more season. And here we are in the playoffs, 12-5 again. One game away from that bye week. I didn't actually see how we kind of started, like, somewhat good, but it was more of a middling season. A couple losses right near the end. Not the best finishers, but can't really say that because the playoffs, we won last year. Wow, same scheme. Herbert was horrible. Now take it. Well, I wouldn't say horrible, but yeah, it's not a great year compared to what we just had. But the rushing touchdowns were very high, so say what you will, but it was a good offensive season, just not as much in the passing game. And looking at the edge, Howell, great year. Tui Pelotu, great year. DTs were a little lackluster, but it's a good overall season. Team did pretty well. Dicker was solid. Solid Dicker. Bird was a great, punter. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Burrow. It's always almost the same dudes every time. Any awards for us? No. Defensively, no. Pass rusher, maybe. Best D-line. We were really... Maybe you aren't going to get a dev up from Howell and them, but you know what? We're in the playoffs. We're taking on the Jets. I like our chance to at least make it to the divisional round, even though it's still far from guaranteed. Going to the end of the game, 7-0. Looking good, looking strong, looking fresh, 7-7, 14-7. Oh, huge chance there. Didn't capitalize, though. 14 all. The Jets are giving us a run here. We are now down by 7. This offense is doing nothing like usual when we need them most. Or just, all game long, I suppose. 4-5, I know we are really putting ourselves in jeopardy here. But I think you have no choice. Please, what a play. Clutched up. Great throw by Herbert. We continue the drive. Nice to have a quarterback that can run, let me tell you that much. As we are moving down. 3rd and 3, conversion, touchdown, 4 minutes left. Defense got to make a stop. And they're just not going to. That is maybe the clutchest drive I have ever seen an AI pull off. That is wild, actually. Okay, they will give us a chance, though. They wasted every possible moment and then got the touchdown anyways. That is crazy. Big problem with this team is not really a whole lot of speed. Corner, and then you just streak McConkey, see if you get the 101. You gotta give him a chance. Oh! There is a mistake that was made. They're gonna call PI. Wait a minute. There is actually a chance. There's no way we win this game, right? If we actually pull this off, that would be crazy. Can I get Hampton in the backfield? No. I guess not. All right, here it is. Gotta give him a chance. It's not even in the end zone. That's unfortunately. That's just an unfortunate situation. I wonder if I can see that back, see if we had a different look. They got a edge rusher in there, I believe. I think it was a cornerback. Brought the blitz. So it didn't have a crazy amount of time. Yeah, he came in with a cornerback late. Cornerback didn't even make a good play on it, though. Johnston is open, but he's not getting the end zone either. I figured over the middle, get him over top. Just didn't happen. I mean, Johnston, he's not running deep enough. You know, even if I throw it right here, the safety's making a play on it. Maybe we get it there. I don't know, but I just can't believe we're not getting to the end zone, dude. Either way, you can't really do much there. Team just didn't do enough during the earlier portion of the game. Really, that's all there is to it. Very lackluster finish in the playoffs here as we instantly get taken down by a really low overall team. And with that, we are already done in the playoffs in year number 2. And as much as I want to say that, you know, the Jets are not a great team and they should have been easy to beat, they're in the damn Super Bowl, so I don't know what to do with that information now either. And they do win it all at 9-8, so sure, I guess we just went against the best team in the league early is unfortunate. It's the only thing we could really say about that. DevOps, we did get a dev up for Amarion Hampton. All those touchdowns paid off at least. 90-plus overall player. Got ourselves quite a weird team, right? 290 overall running backs. When do we ever have that? Then we look at the defensive side of the ball where Howell still is stuck at normal dev. Sure, I suppose. And that is really about it. There's no other DevOps on the team. Did we lose someone to retirement? Because it feels like we have more money than we should. We lost a lot to retirement. Kevin Zeidler, one of them, but obviously we weren't planning on paying him anyways. A little over $20 million to work with, which really isn't going to give us much to work with for free agency, but we should at least keep the team intact. Amarion Hampton, that's pretty much what he's going to want. I want to keep my options open and not pay him if I can. Coulson, we'll keep him because the contract is cheap. He actually went up in dev, I think. Molden's gone, though, and so is the rest of these guys. Not that we're spending any money in free agency, but let's see who's there. Elton Jenkins, I mean, I suppose we'll try to make it work since it's the final season anyways. Not sure what we're going to do in the draft, though. Ooh, Trevin Wallace would be nice, too, but if there was anyone we needed, Geno Stone's an X factor in this league, by the way. That's crazy. It would be the center. Center's what we need, so let's see if we can try to maybe restructure someone and bring in Elton Jenkins. Herbert. Oh, there you go. There you go. Final season for us. I mean, I don't really care about that $20 million in the future or whatever. But right now, we've got all the money in the world. Welcome aboard, Mr. Elton Jenkins. You passed on us last time. Maybe you got it right. I don't even know. But Cole Bishop could use a safety, sort of. I mean, not really. It's Derwin still here. Yeah, that's really all we need. Give me Elton Jenkins and we'll be happy. Boom. We cut corners hard on O-line in this one. Just kept adding a new old name and it kept working out, I suppose. Get to this draft, though. I don't know where we're going to play Elton other than right guard. I don't know. Maybe you want to put Mitchell over right guard? I'm not sure. Yeah, probably move Elton Jenkins to right guard, though. And head to the draft for the final season. All right, we're in the draft, and I'm not sure there's really a position we have to go for. But O-line, DT, linebacker, maybe edge, maybe safety, wide receiver, perhaps, are going to be the positions we look at. I don't really have, again, a position where we need to take someone, so we're kind of just doing this draft for the novelty of doing a draft, really. Ooh, Matthias. We don't really need edge rushers, the problem, though, but the value, I don't know. I like the speed, and, you know, I'm assuming that's an A in there. Not for sure, but I'm assuming it. Safety's kind of, you know, available. What about wide receiver? I scouted these guys further. Coda at 6'3". I mean, I'm not going to start him is the problem. What about Beltran? I don't know. There wasn't many good wide receivers. These are the two I scouted. Coda is interesting, to say the least. Do I take Matthias as pure value? Might be the move. I don't really care too much for a safety. I'm taking Matthias out of value. Let that better hope that freaking finesse is an A. I'm thinking, yeah, 13 true talent. I'm thinking 86 finesse, normal dev. Or hidden dev could still have the finesse. Usually those bad block shed, good finesse, but decent speed guys are that. But hey, even better. So the wide receivers are gone. I thought there was actually a chance they would still be there, which, I mean, there definitely was a chance, but they are not there. So I think safety is going to be the move. I like Atkinson, but he's a little slow. So I scouted the guy that I thought would have been there a little bit longer, which short is. You're basically going pure speed, which I think that's enough. I think he's a 74 overall normal, 43 true talent. Another hidden, actually. I mean, I'm expecting decent overalls, just not the best of devs, but we're seemingly getting both. And the O-line is not great, but this is literally the only guy I got. So Jeremy Winslow, yeah, I figured he'd be a little lower, but he is hidden, so it's fine. Yeah, if you want an offensive lineman, that was literally the only guy left. Not a great class for O-line, at least the interior. Maybe the tackles were great. Then we have pretty much all DTs, which, I mean, I don't really need any of these guys, really. I'm going to go Colbert and McGuire, though, I suppose, and then I'm not sure what the rest of the picks. Colbert, normal dev. Yeah, I figured sooner or later we'd get one of those normals. And then here is McGuire, 18 true talent with Hendev, actually. He's a really good player. And we find ourselves a kicker, Julian McGee, 25 true talent, and another generational kicker. Then we get a hidden dev fullback. He's not a great blocker, but he seemed like a good, like, running back type. And, yeah, I want the best players we can get, even if the blocking's not good. If he's a good overall, he's a decent player, right? Money is low, but talent is not. Nick Matthias, a guy that's honestly pretty useless for us, right? Like, there's not much use we have him, for him for like at least another 3 seasons, but the value might be there, I just feel like if you don't need anything, take one of those positions that matters, Edge rusher is obviously a hard position to grab. You get to an 80+ next year, we could even trade him if you really wanted to. Brad Short, obviously that would be our future replacement of Derwin James. And then the rest of the guys don't exactly intrigue me. McGuire, good finesse moves, sweet. McGee, good kicker. We're going to have a backup punter and kicker, it seems. And then Lampman, hidden development trade. Actually, not as bad of a blocker as I thought he was going to be. Holy crap. So Herbert just went up from 92 to a 96 overall from 2 upgrade points. 12 upgrades. Really cooked. It really just did it all. I'm really surprised by that. Usually it's 2 or 3 upgrades, but getting a 4th, especially as a QB, as a wide receiver, you see it a lot. Edge, you see it a lot with 1 or 2 upgrades, but kind of a crazy upgrade. And with that, this is what the team looks like for season number 3. The weird enough to say final season of the rebuild. With all the playoff success, it's been kind of a longer rebuild anyways, at least when you consider year to year, like 20-some minutes per year. But yeah, I mean, the defense isn't the best yet again for overall, but at the same time, this is the defense that won us a Super Bowl, right? It was the reason why we won, is we had a defense that carried pretty much, honestly. Let's see if they can carry one more time. Let's at least get to the playoffs. Hopefully win a playoff game, because last time we didn't. And maybe make a run. All right, not that we're playing any more seasons anyways, but I am curious to see what the re-signings would look like. So Hampton for sure. Gadsden, I honestly think you let him go. Same with Derwin. McNeil, you keep. Henley, you keep, but try and do like a 2-year deal. O'Neal, probably try that 1-year deal, and maybe Jenkins a 1-year deal. But overall, I don't know how many of those guys you can actually keep. So we're going to sign the guys we can and then see, what the options would be for guys that are maybe 50-50 on. So we got McNeil, we got Henley, we got Hampton. We have $61 million left. Again, I think you try to keep McNeil 1 year. And then I think you pay Joe Alt, and then you just lose O'Neal next year. And at least for the next couple of seasons, I think you're fine, right? You're going to lose Gadsden, but I don't think he's been that big of a weapon for us to keep him. Derwin, he's so old that he might just retire on his own, and we got Short as the safety. Trey Harris is, he's one of the number 3s, which, sure, he plays a part, but you can probably put almost anyone there. And then Ellen Jenkins would be a loss. So you really wouldn't lose too much going into year number 4. And then we try to pay Dicker, but I mean, the money is getting close. Guess you pay Dicker, who's already 0 for 1 3 weeks in. All right, headed to the playoffs. Let's see what we got. We had a pretty good start to the season. Did we finish strong? We did. 12-5, actually pretty good. Still no bye week, though. That's 3 straight seasons at 12-5, if I remember correctly. The Chiefs also stole the damn division from us, tying us at 12-5 themselves. Of course, really good start of the season. Not a bad finish either. I mean, it's just middle to end was really good. It's a good season. 12-5. Doesn't need to be perfect either half. 12-5 is 12-5. It's good. Herbert, not quite as good as that first season, but still good enough. And then, admittedly, the rush game has been great. Breeze hasn't really had the yards Hampton has, but this has been a pretty good 1-2 punch. I think with the way the yards per carry have gone and the touchdowns have gone, this would definitely be one of those 2,000-yard back type teams. And, I don't see why we weren't able to do that. I put Breece Hall as the backup for everything, and still just could only get him about 500 yards a season. Receivers are good, but not great. Obviously Johnson was really good, but everyone else, they're good, but not great. Sacks allowed, it is what it is. Pass rush, did Howell finally get to start Dev? It's crazy how elite he has truly been, but he's still a normal Dev. This is an 87 overall with nearly 90 plus power move, 90 plus block shed, 90 plus finesse, and his worst season was when he was a rookie, sharing snaps with Khalil Mack, getting 9 sacks in the season. I will say we absolutely Tui Pelotu'd that thing, which it worked out. Just Tui Pelotu on that thing. Derwin James, 2 picks. Tarheeb still with 1. Dicker missing 3 kicks is fine. Punter has been great. Kick return, punt return game, no touchdowns. Very rare to get those, to be fair. Yearly awards. Joe Burrow. It's almost always Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, so pick your poison. No awards for us. And that will continue to be the same as we are headed to the playoffs for the final season in this rebuild. Please just let us at least win 1 game. I know we're going against the MVP, Burrow. And obviously the big thing is they're the same overall as us. All right, going to the end of the game. Come on, Chargers. It looks like right to left is them. We got the stop, then we gave the ball up, and they got the touchdown. So here we go. Nice little turnaround, 10-7. Defense is doing what the defense did to get us a Super Bowl win, which is carry the hell out of us. Come on, offense. Wake up, please. 24-14, 31-14. This really wasn't even about McDaniel, even though the offense is starting to heat up a little bit. It's really about the damn defensive coordinator, if anyone. 38-21 over the Bengals, who have basically the best passing scheme in the entire game. Maybe even make the case that it's the best offensive scheme in the entire game. Burrow threw 2 picks. Herbert did not, but he also did throw a lot of incompletions. Still, 4 touchdowns beats that every day of the week, especially when you add another freaking rushing touchdown to it. Herbert probably getting player of the week with that one. Completion percentage is one thing. 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, and good bunch of yards, that's another. I'm just glad we got past the wildcard round. I hate when we have a really good successful rebuild. We win a Super Bowl early, or we win back-to-back, and then the third one is just a loss in the wildcard round. It happens so often. Thankfully, it didn't happen this time, but we will be taking on the Titans, who are apparently the GOATs. Been seeing the Titans win a little bit lately. Their playbook's seemingly decent. Good answer back after their touchdown. It is 7-all. The Titans are giving us a run here. 14-10, 17-10. Halftime at 17-all. We do get the stop. Huge score. Offense has actually done a pretty good job today, despite the defense being a little lackluster. Ooh, he gets sacked. That's not good. 3rd and 10. I know the team's inclined to play it safe here. Slot cross has been decent enough for us, but I think you got to try to pass this ball, try to get this first down if possible. We can't. A little bit more time. Maybe we have Johnston over the middle, but that's about it. It's a throwaway. Big thing for me is, though, could we have stepped up? Yeah, we could have. Dude, I don't know how I just keep doing this. I don't know why my brain doesn't work. Best part is when we miss this freaking field goal. Okay, there you go. Good job, Dicker. Oh, my Lord. They got down the field pretty quickly, boys. It ain't looking too promising for that Super Bowl. Hope you have a good memory, because I think that last Super Bowl we had was the last one we're seeing today. There is let him have it. There's no way we just ran him in up the middle, pinched everybody, and they still just got in free. All right, let's see what the team is up to, as they are already staring down a 2nd and 10. It's still early in the drive, but still really just banking on 2 routes here. And there's one of them. That is crazy. The very first play is picked. We just got to tackle him. We still have a chance, but yeah, not a good look after you throw the freaking pick on the first throw. There is no way. I don't know why I just believed he was going to step inside. Like, the problem is McConkey's already open, so I'm like, well, he's not going to run to him. He would have ran to him already, right? And he just fades over, and at that point, it's already too late. It's crazy work. Still not over, but yeah, we have really put a low chance on this. What the hell am I witnessing? It's going to be a QB run? Baited us. They tricked me. All right, okay. Quick throw to the outside. That's a risky one, but kind of paid off. I have no idea what to do. I don't really trust the team to make the stop without pressure. Oh, it's a QB keep. There's no way. Holy crap. That would have been a touchdown or a first down if we weren't there, because our guy would have been locked up man-to-man. There's no way he peels off for that QB scramble, right? Titans almost got away with a crazy one there. That would have been insane to win it that way. All right, 48 seconds. Let's hope we can kick return a crazy one. Problem is, we're not the fastest team in the world back there. I don't know if I hope that it goes to the end zone. I think so, but might be our best chance anyways at this kick return. I hate so much that the lead blocker just doesn't block on special teams. I hate it. I have to probably keep this in the middle of play. That's a great play. Let's hurry up to the line, to the 50. That's a really big play. Like, I would start swinging on my own teammates if I was, you know, the guys around him. And that's, I mean, that'll have a chance. Oh! There's no way he didn't get that left foot down. Please tell me they're about to booth review this. We made it a crazy good adjustment. It's an insane throw. That's in! That's going to be a touchdown. Tell me that right foot is. There is no way we just got that. That's going to be a touchdown. What? Brother, that is the biggest scam job I've seen in Madden. You know, if his foot is like, I'm trying to, like, I can't really prove it because there's nothing to base it off. If it's a little over, okay, you know, it's a video game. It's not perfect. This, I genuinely think, is just the game being wrong. I have never seen the ball. I mean, like, that. What? We're calling that out of bounds. Oh, my God. This is why I was actually looking at the play, because I felt for a moment they would get the wrong call. And they do. It's a crazy throw. That is a crazy throw, Herbert. Justin, you know what they're trying to take away from you. Do not let them. Damn it, I really thought they would let us run. Freaking defensive tackle making that play. Okay, Levels corner again. McConkey, he's not really the greatest one-on-one guy here for this, but it's a little late. Oh, my God. Why are we letting Gadsden leave again? Does anyone have any sort of clue? What do you mean? This guy's crazy. Keep running, Johnston. There it goes. It's actually Trey Harris. They're telling us to go for 2. There's no way we do all of this, go for 2 and don't get it, right? I like our defense. I'm kicking the extra point. F that. You are crazy. Okay, they're icing us. I'm going for it. And it's not even like a they deserve this situation. It's a I don't trust myself to kick an iced field goal. Please, McConkey. He holds on in traffic. There's no way. If he would have dropped that, I would have ran into traffic. There is no way he just saved us. As soon as that ball went up, I was like, there's just no way we're going to get this. I got to see this again, actually. I was like, there's just no way. So am I really old and blind? Let's see. Gadsden isn't open at this point. That guy can easily turn around. Sure, in theory he's open. That guy can react instantly. I mean, other than Gadsden anticipating that guy's not going to turn around, it really is McConkey. You're hoping you can throw it to the sideline, but it kind of like comes back to us. Goes up and gets it. Takes the hit. What a hero. There goes my hero. Could you imagine being a Titans fan at this point? The refs absolutely bailed you out. You're sitting there at home thinking, damn, that's pretty bad. But you know what? We're moving on. I don't really care. I don't care. Then that happens. Oh, no. Social media is about to absolutely crap on us. The refs gave us the game, and we still blew it. Oh, my God. What have we done? And the ball is not even going to make it there. We're moving on to the championship round. One of the worst, most blatantly bad, wrong call, controversial calls I've ever seen in Madden. And we still move on. That is insanity. Can we actually look at it again? They'll let me see it, dude. That's crazy. Let's also talk about Justin Herbert. Like, what a throw. He's like literally, trajectory's technically hit here. Johnson, that ball was up longer than usual, which is why I loved our odds of getting it. Through the SWAT. And that is called no touchdown. I mean, there is no argument on the planet. I really couldn't tell you how the game got that wrong, to be honest, but thankfully it's irrelevant. Whee, that was a close one. Of course, looking at the numbers, Herbert was good. Ward was arguably better, but you can't deny the clutch of Mr. Herbert. Hampton was good enough with the 2 touchdowns. Gadsden was huge. Huge on that drive. It sucks we didn't actually read that 2-point conversion to him because that would have been actually insane. But we're moving on to the championship round, and my voice, because of the sickness, really did not need all this yelling, but yet here we are. Oh, here we go. The freaking Buffaloni Bills. We do have them beat by 3 overalls, though, so let's continue our road streak. Have we been on the road the entire time, by the way? We have. You know how hard it is to be a 12-5 team playing completely on the road to the championship round? Like, it's not the commonest thing. I don't even know if that's even a word. I would say most common. But wow, what a performance. Hopefully it's not all for nothing. Let's hopefully win a Super Bowl as the Bills get a touchdown. We get a field goal. They get a nothing. We get a field goal. They get a nothing. We get a nothing. They get nothing. We get a field goal. We get a touchdown after they get nothing. We get a nothing after they get a nothing. It is 16-14 after we get a nothing. We drive down for a nothing. It's the fourth quarter. We are scoring a whole lot of nothing right now. The Bills, 4th and 1. This is a moment. All right, they're going to go for the field goal. You know, if we would have played it safe, we would have lost the game. Well, that's not even true. We wouldn't have won the game instantly, I should say. So would this be one of those situations where the Bills are going to look back and realize they made a mistake? We'll find out. 1-point game after we have completely choked the lead. Looks like we're going to continue that. Nope, nice. Clutched up. All right, 7-point lead. Need a stop, defense, please. No stop. 5 minutes left. Here it is. Here it is. This is where the Bills win the game. This play single-handedly kind of won us the game last time, so we're going to go back to it. Dude, why is this play so good? Is it just Gadsden? That play is filthy. Is that meta? Levels wide corner. That does sound familiar. It might be a meta play. I have found my first meta play, other than Mesh. And a huge touchdown, but we gave him time. We gave him a lot of time. We're constantly giving people time. That's the problem. 25 seconds. They do need the touchdown, though, so just protect the end zone, and everyone's happy. About midfield. You can have that underneath. Can't have anything with Cassius Howell sitting around, though. They're like, hey, let's get aggressive. Let's double their number 1. How about go F yourself? Let's play defense. Deep and back. Okay, maybe they were right. We tackled them inbounds, though, so that's one of their last time out, actually, I believe. Keep them inbounds, and they have like 1 play left at that. Please, defense. I feel way too confident right now. Oh my God, Josh Allen, could you not? Keep him in bounds, and I think we win the game. Especially if it takes a little time. We got to play. Sacked! And I think we're headed to the Super Bowl. Come on. Oh my God, they have time. There is no way they have time. They have all the time in the world. I should really call time out here. Ooh, I don't like it. Oh, he's going to give him a chance. Perfect defense! Jackson says no. We're headed to the Super Bowl for the 2nd time in 3 years. The Jets can go F themselves. I don't know what it is with the Jets, too. I feel like a couple times now, over the last few weeks, our, like, Super Bowl run after, a Super Bowl run, really, has ended short, or a three-peat attempt has ended early because of that Jets team Josh Allen, what a freaking clutch throw to that sideline, but in the end, the pressure was too much. Josh Allen needs an offensive line. How about that? Quentin Johnson, great. Shakir, no. Sacks, fair enough. Picks, kicker, Dicker miss. It was a block, but a lot of times when a kicker's blocked, it's usually the kicker's fault. I don't even know if that's true. Is it? It's usually the operations of the kicker / holder, right? Like, it's not usually the offensive line's fault. It's usually because the kick's too low, the handler messes up, doesn't catch it right, doesn't spin it right, that kind of stuff. I don't even know if that's true. I'm just kind of yapping, but it feels like that. It feels like it. And speaking of things that it feels like, my voice right now, it kind of feels like that Miley Cyrus interview where she sounds like that Star Wars character. It's like a droid or something, I think it is. Haven't watched that movie series in a long time. Definitely nowhere near caught up to any of that either. Like, there's several movies that came out that I don't even think I've seen. And spin-offs and whatever. I don't know, dude. I can't be bothered. It's too much effort. Disney. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, I'm done. Let's go to the freaking Super Bowl. Was that Cassius Howell going to Star Dev? I think that was Cassius Howell going to Star Dev. Tell me it was. It was Star Dev. Not really much DevOps other than him and, Henley, I believe. Everyone else was sticking where they are. Whoa, I got confused there for a moment. Yeah, here is Mr. Deion Henley. Star development trade as well. Pretty good player. I mean, we didn't have amazing players at every single position, but we're a good team, damn it. All right. Taking on the Buccaneers. We have them beat by 7 whole overalls. All right, here we go. End of the game. Oh, my Lord. It looks like we messed up immediately and then messed up again. It should really be like a 14-0 game, but defense clutching up a little bit and then offense doing its thing. 10 all from where the starting point was. Could be worse. Don't do it, dude. The freaking Buccaneers, man. Just all it takes is a couple of mistakes, and, this is what you get yourself into. I mean, our quarterback's not exactly small, and the hole is definitely not small. That's what he said. Either way, easy first down. Appreciate the help. Thank you very much. Let's get back up there. Just win the damn game, would you? Just win the game. There we go. We're clutch. Oh, my Lord, we failed the 2-point, didn't we? 5-point game, 3rd and 11, 4th and 7. Here it is. Offense can take the lead. Wow, we actually clutched up. Got the 2-point. 27-24, 2 minutes left. Picked off. I cannot believe the turn of events. That is actually insane. 34-24, we win the Super Bowl. It was like 24-13. My controller would be in my neighbor's living room if that just happened to us. It would be a straight shot in there. That I cannot believe we just made that comeback, and we didn't even need to exist, right? Like, we QB snuck at 4th and inches. Well, it was very obvious and easy for us. In fairness, the game probably wouldn't have got it. They failed 2 in a row. I don't even know if it was sneaks or whatever they tried, but 2 in a row and inches didn't work out. But we came in, we got that one play, and that was it. We simmed the rest of it. Defense with a clutch pick, and they won. The team won. We have made a dynasty in only 3 seasons. All right. McDaniel might be the key. Of course, interceptions, too, for Baker Mayfield, which was obviously the huge reason why we won that game. Herbert threw 1 pick, but he also clutched the F up. You can't really complain. Pass rush, it's been a little lackluster this playoff run, but we win. That's all that matters. Tarheeb still. That's why Tarheeb's still the #1 corner on this team. Can't believe I completely forgot about him, though. We drafted 2 corners high enough, but they both ended up pretty good. Speaking of the Buccaneers, we basically turned into a Buccaneers-type cornerback room, at least when they had Jamel Dean and, Murphy Bunting and Davis and whatnot. As we have a trio of really good corners. I mean, this trio is definitely better, but still, there's your bing, bang, boom, bow. We got 4 straight there. Let's take a look, though, at the roster as we head on out of this one, which was actually probably longer than the last rebuild. But because there was so much playoff success, I know what it feels like to be Tom Brady. Exactly. My supermodel wife is waiting in bed for me, obviously. Yeah. there's just so much playoff games that it just equaled out to a 5-year rebuild. But with all that being said, this is what the team ended up becoming. Quentin Johnston, the 90 overall with 93 speed, great release, great medium and deep route, okay short route, very, very good catching, which is kind of crazy for him. I know he's improved on it a bit, but still just feels weird to say. And then Lad McConkey, 90 overall. Everything's in the 90s pretty much, except for release and deep route. With very solid player too. I mean, he is built a little weird, right? He's a little peculiar, but that's just the way he is. He clutched up for us when we needed him most, and that's all I care about. Trey Harris never really developed him. He had a couple of okay seasons, but he's not a bad player, about to be an 80 overall. Gadsden clutched so hard for us, and how do we repay him? The open market you go, pal. We'll be seeing you later. Omarion Hampton, 93 overall. Very good truck and stiff arm. I mean, very, very good. Definitely would love to get the juke and spin going, but again, they just upgrade based on archetypes, and you can't, like, set in auto-upgrading. I wish it would be like, okay, what do you want these players to be auto-upgraded on? Which archetype? Nope, they just upgrade the highest, which I guess is the easiest, like, laziest way to go. Of course, completely forgot that Brees Hall this whole time. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion as a backup. Who would have thought? Then here's Justin Herbert, who obviously looks pretty damn good across the board. Clutchest man I've ever seen. Very clutch, though. Looking at the offensive line, I guess we'll look at the 2 tackles that this team has. Of course, Slater, run block power, not the best. Run blocking in general, a little bit lackluster, but obviously still one of the best tackles, even at that, let alone the rest. And then Joe Alt, the right tackle, kind of a similar story, but yeah, both tackles very, very good. You move on to the defensive side of the ball, where McIntosh actually glowed up pretty quickly. He's only about to be 24 years old, and he's an 86 overall. Very good balance. They got him as a run support, but he does look hybrid in general, so, I mean, I can't really complain. Derwin James, he's been about the same overall as what he started with. Looks really good still. What is that regression going to look like, though? Who the hell knows? I don't think it shows until you actually, like, sim a week. You can't just be in the Super Bowl and finish. You actually have to finish the Super Bowl week itself. But Cassius Howell, obviously, we just recently seen him, but, yeah, I mean, what a freaking start to the career. 30-plus sacks already. And again, he started that first year backing up Khalil Mack, and he was on par 1-to-1 with him from the get-go. Of course, Tui Pelotu a little bit more up and down, but still really good. I keep saying that, and it's just not true. I swear I remembered a 6.5 sack season from him. I swear I did, but I guess not. I really don't know who I was thinking of then. Maybe it was one of the DTs. Here's Henley, though. He's a little more balanced. Still low in block shedding coverage, but he's at least kind of similar to both. And then here's Lander Barton, who's just huge. Literal Terrell Edmonds. Doesn't really develop yet, but he's an okay overall at least. Then we move at the cornerback spots. I don't know why I always do that. I go front, some people on the front 7, and then I switch over to the DBs. But here's Tarheeb, still obviously not the tallest, the fastest guy in the world, but he gets the job done. Clutched the hell up in the Super Bowl, so don't you say a damn word about him. I don't want to hear anything about his speed or lack thereof it. Damani Jackson, 89 overall. Pretty good press man. Very fast, so definitely not a concern for him. Kind of the opposite of it still, if you will. And then here's Johnson, who he's an 86 overall. Chris Johnson, good zone guy. I mean, he's a good player, just we had to start the higher potential guys first, and that's exactly what we did. McGuire, 80 overall. Would he end up becoming about the same? Just, I don't know, a couple upgrades that got him boosted in overall. And then here is Hazelwood, the 86 overall. Very good block share. That's about as far as he goes when it comes to that kind of stuff, though. And then Aleem McNeil ended up becoming a pretty good trade piece for us. Doing work. It might have been actually McNeil that I saw at 6.5. Was it? 8.5 maybe it was? I don't know. We saved him from Detroit, which, I mean, those numbers are looking pretty abysmal. And then the final 2 guys you want to look at, I guess McGee, because we just got him. Didn't really care too much, though. He was the backup. But then, obviously, the punter, Mr. Bird, 86 overall, Jeremiah Bird. 99 kick power, 90 accuracy. Not great awareness, but it's getting there. But anyways, that is going to be this rebuild, a quote-unquote realistic style rebuild of the Los Angeles Chargers after hiring Mike McDaniel. Of course, if you did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification all so you know when the next upload is up, which I think we've already hit, by the time I'm recording this, the like goal for the Dolphins franchise to to have another episode soon here, so be on the lookout for that tomorrow. And, yeah, let me know which team you'd like to see rebuild next. I think we might do a Buffalo Bills one pretty soon. Might even be Tuesday's rebuild. Assume we're doing a rebuild on Tuesday. Of course, follow me on Twitter, JeromepkR, second channel, PKR Plays, and I'm adding content. I've been actually editing the Borderlands videos. For anyone that actually watched those, truly appreciate it. That is dedication. And I want to get that series up so I can get onto a new one. And that's pretty much that. Again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. Predict what the Chargers record's going to be next year. I'm thinking 11-6. I know, very safe. But until next video,